So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The idea behind this lecture series is that you get to practice your MCQs from the topic of current affairs on a daily basis, because this is a good habit to have, because 4 to 5 MCQs covered on a daily basis would add up to more than 1200 MCQs by the time you're ready for your next prelims examination. Okay. Now, if someone were to ask you that practice 1200 MCQs for the topic of from the topic of current affairs for prelims, that would seem like a gigantic task. But if we break it down to 4-5 MCQs daily, well, it doesn't seem like a big task anymore. Okay. So make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, a daily habit. Because if you are able to practice 1200 MCQs from the topic of current affairs, you wouldn't have to worry about this topic for your prelims examination. So make it a daily routine of yours, okay? All right, let's begin today's discussion, starting with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding Vice President of India. The Vice President is elected by an electoral college consisting of only elected members of both houses of parliament. As per the Constitution, in case of a vacancy, the new VP, Vice President, needs to be elected within 6 months. The new Vice President elected serves for the remainder of the tenure of the previous Vice President who had resigned earlier. Now, the reason why this MCQ is in today's lecture is because recently Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankar, has resigned prematurely. Okay, his tenure was remaining, 2 years were left, but he resigned beforehand. Okay, now that is why the topic of Vice President is in the news. Now, as far as the election of Vice President is concerned, Vice President is elected by an electoral college. The members of this electoral college are both elected and nominated members of both houses of parliament. Okay, so all members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, whether they are elected or nominated, are part of this electoral college and they vote for the Vice President. Okay, the election is through proportional representation. Okay. You know about proportional representation. Proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, right? So this is the system. So first statement is false because it only mentions elected members. Now, when we talk about the President of India, in case there is a vacancy in the office of President of India, the new President has to be elected within 6 months, right? But that is not a compulsion when it comes to Vice President. When it comes to Vice President, if there is a vacancy in the office of Vice President, the Constitution mentions no time frame. The Constitution only says that the elections need to be held as soon as possible. Okay, so there is no 6 months deadline for VP. Clear? So this is also false. Now, as soon as the new VP is elected, well, he serves for a full 5-year term, not the remainder period. Okay, so this is also false. No statement is correct. The answer is D. All right. Now, question number 2. Consider the following statements regarding MiG-21 fighter jet. It is a Russian-origin, twin-engine, multi-role fighter aircraft that was inducted in Indian Air Force in 1963. The Indian Air Force has a sanctioned strength of 42 squadrons of fighter aircrafts. The latest variant of MiG-21 is called Bison, which has advanced missiles, radars, and avionics. MiG-21 is now being replaced with newly procured Rafale fighter jets. Okay, so the reason why MiG-21 fighter jets were in the news is because recently Indian Air Force has announced that they are going to retire. Okay, they are going to phase these fighter aircraft out. So phase out of MiG-21 fighter jets has been started. Okay, or it's going to begin really soon. Now, Indian Air Force is going to replace MiG-21 fighter jet with LCA Tejas, Light Combat Aircraft Tejas, indigenously produced Tejas. All right. So currently we have 3 squadrons and 1 squadron has around 16 to 18 fighter jets. So we have 3 squadrons of MiG-21. We are going to phase them out gradually and replace them with Tejas. So fourth statement is already false because MiG-21 is now being replaced by Rafale. No, Tejas. Okay. Now, MiG-21 was inducted into the Indian Air Force in 1963 and we bought it from Soviet Union. Okay, so it is a Russian origin. Twin engine? No. Single engine. Single engine, single seater also. Generally in fighter jets, 2 pilots sit in this single seater. Okay, multi-role fighter aircraft that was inducted in IAF in 1963. The entire statement would have been correct if instead of twin engine it was written single engine. So this is also false. Now, currently, Indian Air Force says that the ideal strength of its fighter jets should be 42 squadrons. So it has a sanctioned strength of 42 squadrons. But currently, that is a very sorry state of affairs. Currently, it only has 30 squadrons. Okay, therefore, Indian Air Force has been pressing upon this that we need more fighter jets to reach this target of 42 squadrons if we are to be battle ready for future. Okay, so this is correct. Now, MiG-21 has been inducted since 1963, and over the period of these years, well, new variants of MiG-21 have been inducted. The latest one was MiG-21 Bison with advanced missiles, radars and avionics. So this is also correct. So only 2 and 3 are correct. The answer is C. Question 3. Which of the following statements are correct regarding Niger? It is a landlocked country that lies in Eastern Africa with its name originating from Niger River. Niger's population is predominantly Muslim, but its constitution guarantees secular polity. It is bordered by Libya, Algeria, Nigeria, Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, Benin. Niger has achieved independence from United Kingdom in 1960 and still uses English as its official language. Okay, so select the correct option. So the thing is that Niger is basically a landlocked country, absolutely correct. And its name also originates from the river that flows through it called Niger River. That's absolutely correct. But it doesn't lie in Eastern Africa. It lies in Western Africa. Okay. Look, as you all know, if we talk about Africa, then there is this geographical region called the Sahara Desert. Many countries lie in it. Okay. Algeria, Libya, they all lie in Sahara Desert. Egypt also. Then below Sahara Desert, towards the south of Sahara Desert, there is a grassland-like region called Sahel region. In this Sahel region, you will find Nigeria, Chad, Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger. Clear? So it lies in Niger, Sahel region of Western Africa. So first statement is false and it is landlocked though. That part is correct. Now Niger's population is predominantly Muslim, absolutely correct. But its constitution is a secular constitution. It guarantees right to freedom. Okay, so its constitution guarantees separation of church and state. So this part is correct. It is bordered by Libya, Algeria, Nigeria, Chad, all these countries. That is also correct. Now, Niger achieved independence not from United Kingdom, but from France. Okay, in 1960. Yes, 1960 is correct, but not UK, France. And that is why till 2025, Niger's official language was French. Like in our country, the official language is English, right? Because we were an Anglophone country. We were colonized by UK. So fourth statement is false. Okay, English is not the official language, French is, and it was also till 2025. In 2025, Niger decided to remove French as its official language and make its own original local language called Hausa as its official language. Nonetheless, 1 and 4 statements are correct, 2 and 3 are correct. The answer to this question is C. And last but definitely not the least, which of the following statements are correct regarding NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar NISAR project? It is a satellite that will be launched by GSLV F-16 rocket of ISRO. The satellite shall be placed in geosynchronous orbit at an altitude of around 36,000 kilometers. It will be the first satellite ever to observe Earth in 2 frequencies, NASA's L-band and ISRO's S-band. Now look, well, NISAR project is a joint space satellite project of NASA and ISRO. Basically, they are going to create an Earth observation satellite. Okay. Whose job is to collect data from Earth by observing it through radar. Okay. Now it will have 2 types of radars. One is the L-band, which will make observations in L-band frequency, and the other would be S-band. Okay. Now L-band radar is created by NASA and S-band radar is created by ISRO. That is why it is a joint project. Now this NISAR project was announced many years back, but it was not, this satellite was not launched. But now this satellite is being launched and the final date has come out to be July 30th. 31st. Okay, and this will be launched through an Indian rocket. Okay, the launch vehicle used would be ISRO's launch vehicle called GSLV F-16, and the launch site would also be India's spaceport Sriharikota. Okay, in Andhra Pradesh. So first statement is correct. Now this satellite is an Earth observation satellite, so chances are it won't be placed in geosynchronous orbit, and that is correct. It is not placed in geosynchronous orbit, it is placed in sun synchronous orbit. Okay, at an altitude of around approximately 700 kilometers. Okay, so second statement is false. Now it will be the first satellite ever to observe Earth in two frequencies. This part is correct. 1 and 3 are correct. The answer is D. Okay, and with that we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But it would add more value if you're first consistent and regular with this lecture series, and secondly, if you revise this lecture as well. And what do I mean by revision? Well, by revision, I mean to take a look at written detailed solutions to these MCQs that we just discussed. Now, the written detailed solutions to all these MCQs are found in our notes, and these notes are shared on our Telegram channel. The link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section just below this video. All right? On that note, I'll be signing off with the promise of seeing you again with another set of MCQs. Thank you, everyone.